Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, and welcome back to GT Sport as we're taking part in the second kind of organised online race from California, and we're going on the Dragon Trail, the seaside circuit, a fictional circuit in Croatia, and we're going to be driving a Group 4 car, and we're going to be driving in a Hyundai Genesis Group 4 car, and this is actually our second online race. We did around 15 minutes practice before this race after registering. As you can see, we only did it that time down in 8 for 57.6, nowhere near the top. So this might be a difficult race for us, but I'm showing off in this episode. This is the first race, and in the next race, you'll see it's a bit different, and you'll see where I've kind of learned slightly as well from this race from what happened in the next race. But let's begin this opening race with the Genesis. As you can see, we've got the Scirocco, we've got the Corvette, we've got a 458 Italia, we've got a GT by Citroen, we've got Honda NSX, we've got a Singer, that's a Subaru WRX as well. We've got a great variety of cars here, all kind of bounce performance to be similar performance, but of course it's going to be, main difference is going to be the drivers. So let's see what we can do on this first. Now down in 8th, I said in the last episode, I feel sorry for guys starting near the back because they won't be able to make too many moves on the first lap. But as you can see, you've got a good run through that first right hand and into the left, and it's like, oh, the Honda has been pushed wide, the Subaru. And now we've got someone glitching in front. Is that the Bugatti Veyron? It is, and he got caught behind. I think that was another Veyron as well. Now we've got the Veyron around the outside. Very brave on the first lap, but we make it up into 6th. But we just find this Frenchman through the field in his Honda NSX. I do love the Honda NSX, but this Honda Genesis was the only Group 4 car I had before this race. You'll see that changes for the second one. But on this first lap, we are making our way through the field, just following this car. And so we've got a bit of a group behind the Corvette in second. He's being challenged by the Spaniard in order to almost come to blows there in the 458 Italia, and you can see the Scirocco getting away in the lead as well. But now we've got a superb run on the Honda, looking down his inside into the hairpin down the bottom of the hill in warm-up. Before this 2-minute warm-up, I tried this move, went into the barrier. Almost do it again here in the actual race. It behind someone did as well, and then the Honda just glitched by me, and I make it up to 5th place. I think he ran a bit wide there. I think that's around McGann behind us that went into the barrier. But we're up to 5th, into the top 5 now. And now through this section, I seem to be so much better than drivers in front, because then it's like the 458 is glitching, and the Veyron got caught up once again. Another Veyron getting caught up. So we're up into 3rd place. You can see the top 2 in front of us. We've got the Corvette, well, the Scirocco's a bit in front of us. He's already got a lead of almost 2.5 seconds, and it's like after the first lap. Whoa, that guy's on another level compared to everyone else. As you come to the end of this first lap, he does a 58.4, or she, and we're 5 seconds slower in the end. But our SR is going up all the time. Remember our sportsmanship rating, yeah, we didn't really get involved in that first lap. We might on this second, has in further gaining on second as he messes up this first set of corners. And he's glitching all over the place, he's ghosting, and then we just got too aggressive. We saw the opportunity for it, we get hard on the power. That was not the right idea. If we just took that corner as you normally would, we'd be right on his tail now. But you can see we got slowdown penalty now of over 4.5 seconds. And you got the rest of the lap, I believe, to take that. So I'll take it all through the rest of this lap, but don't just slow down immediately. Probably would have been best actually to slow down immediately, and I could have spent the rest of that being on the tail of other guys, but we just try and catch up to this Corvette in front. But we're not really gaining in our Hyundai Genesis. Nowhere near the best Group 4 car, at least definitely for this circuit. We need a bit more straight line speed, which of course the Corvette provides, and the Scirocco handles like a beast, I guess, in that Italian's hands, and he's just she is just superb at driver. But on the second lap, we do outbrake ourselves into that hairpin. And now we've got the 458 tail right on our tail. He's got the Veyron for company, I believe, the Spaniard right behind us. We saw him being aggressive with the Corvette in the race. But now we're coming to the last sector. We do have to slow down. And I think we just let him through here as we do slow down on the racing line. Not the best idea, as he's going down our inside, I believe, into this final corner. So we drop down a position as we go into this final corner. There he goes, down our inside. Don't really know how to take this final corner. It's a very tricky corner to get right. Most of the corners are around here. As there we go, slow through the corner. Now we can accelerate away. And hopefully that Veyron won't be right enough to... Oh no, he's coming. We're getting the Jaws music out to go into the second half of this race, onto the third lap, and drop down to 5th place. He's alongside us, unfortunately. Got to adjust the cockpit settings there so I can actually see a bit more. As he's down our inside, we just backed off there, let him through into this sequence of this left-right chicane. Such a tricky corner. He's got to brake so early into it as you're going downhill, and then you've got to be hard on the power out of it. Not as hard as I was on the previous lap, but you know, just keep a tight line, and you have a beautiful run heading into the right-hander. Not this right-hand kink, but into the next right-hander. Can we maybe think of making a move into this corner? As all it's going wide in front is the Veyron. We're trying to get a run in our Hyundai, getting the slipstream. Don't think that really work in the Genesis versus the Veyron, but we will see. As this is what I'm talking about. Get a run into this left-hander. You can't make a move into this left-hander unless they make a mistake like the Veyron in front. He made a Horlicks off that corner, and so for the rest of the race we were a bit lonely, unfortunately, in 4th place. But you saw there, when I had the chance, I got too aggressive there and made a stupid mistake. I could have been battling for a podium this race, but in the end I finished 4th, get some good safety rating on the board, and get another good result. This is my 2nd race online, so I finished on the podium. I finished in 4th now. As you can see, we've got time penalties around us from the 458 Italia from the Veyron as well, and I think a couple other guys get some penalties as well near the back. You can see the Frenchman and Honda NSX down in 10th in the end, and Matty Musty didn't qualify up into 9th. Our fellow Brit in the race in a Toyota, I believe that is 86. So as you can see, great variety of cars throughout the whole of the field, but not the race we wanted after that fantastic start. Really got undone by that second. Now that's why I want these longer races. Right? Give us more time to get into a rhythm. Once we get into a rhythm, maybe reward us as well if we do get into rhythm. You know, gaining on cars in front. We could have more battles in these races. Shame they are so short, fortunately, or none. I like the concept, just want longer races. But let's go into the second race. As you can see, before this race, had around 5 minutes practice, set a better qualifying that time up to a 52.6, just a 10th second slower than our fellow Corvette runner. I thought, oh, I saw him a bit quicker in that car. Why not choose a Corvette then? Buy it between races. So this is my 3rd race online, and immediately after I did that previous race as well. There's about a 10-minute interval between the races. Well, there we are, up in 2nd now, and we're right up there. Not going to have the battle away through the field, hopefully, if we don't make a Horlicks of the first lap, unlike what we did in our first race online. So this should be an interesting race. Battling at the front. We also got Philippe. I believe he was the Spaniard as well, but he's now in an NC's in the Lexus. So let's see, we're going to get a good start. We also got the Aston Martin Vanquish as well, which we didn't see. We've got Scirocco down in 8th, and we also got in set for a different car as well. As oh, he's up to 5th now. He's making moves early. So we did have 12 drivers, unfortunately 1 left before the race, but we've got a good run on our fellow Chevrolet into the first corner. But look at that Lexus round the outside, very aggressive as the Spaniard forces a fellow Corvette wide, and so now we've got a run on him while he's being aggressive. They did not get the best run out of the corner, and so we're looking down the inside. I'm not going to make the move into the right-hand kink. We can be right on his tail, looking to the outside. He was very cautious into his right-hander. I thought I'd have to do a switchback, but we take him around the outside. Our fellow Corvette takes him down the inside, and there you can see him in the wing. He's right behind us, so we're in the lead after that first sector. Very scary first sector, but then I was just cautious into the left-hander, and the Dutchman takes advantage of that and makes a Mad Max move down our inside and takes back the lead. A good move as well, as I did leave the door open there, and now I'm slow going onto his back straight. Got the Aston Martin Vanquish with a bit of a slipstream on us heading into the hairpin. Well, as you saw in that first race, I've been getting it wrong. I've not been doing this corner well. I've gone a bit better, but he forces his way down the inside, left the door open, and so we're down to 3rd after leading after the first sector. A sector later, we're down into the bottom half of the podium and be looking behind. We've got around a 2nd gap though to the Lexus of that very aggressive Spaniard, so you might be making a mistake like that Vanquish did through the chicane. That's the one set of corners on this circuit that I can nail, is that set of chicanes, and so got a superb run down the inside of the Aston Martin. Going into the final corner, I brake a bit too much, but I hold the middle line. He can't go anywhere. And the Vanquish, he maybe could have gone a bit wider and maybe cut that back, trying to get a run down this front stretch, but he did not, and we got a good run on a Dutchman in front as he made a bit of a mess of that final corner. So we're right in the slipstream, heading on to this second out. We got a good battle for the win, grab our first win online as well, but we're not close enough to make a move into this first corner, even though he kind of defends slightly there, goes offline. We saw this in the previous race as well from the Dutchman in the Corvette. Does not like that first set of corners. We have a much better run. We've nailed those first set of corners compared to the first race, and they go all over his tail. We've got to be careful of the Vanquish behind as well, just half a second back, and he makes a mess of that right hand kink, and that's why you like to kind of set them up in that right hand kink. You know, maybe look around the outside, they might go too tight into that corner. It sets up the run into the hairpin, but it's a good run out the hairpin as we take it in third gear. Should have got it down to second, get the traction out the hairpin, get the drive, and then get a good run into this sequence of S-bends. And it looks like the Vanquish one was very cautious into that first left-hander as I was defending slightly, but I managed to hold my line well enough that I haven't lost a position to him. And we are still in the slipstream of the Chevrolet in front and into the hairpin. Much better braking, cover the inside line a bit better compared to the Aston as well. We built a bit of a gap as well in that corner of almost around 0.3 of a second. So pretty good hairpin as well. We are nailing these corners on this second lap, but so is the Dutchman as well. Apart from this final set of corners, it's a bit ragged. Get a much smoother line in. For some reason, I just steer into the wall. And behind the Vanquish, he actually clipped the first left-hand corner of that final set of fast flicks, and so unfortunately he was into the wall. So we've got a bit of a gap behind to our fellow Chevrolets. If you look at the mini-map, look, they haven't even approached the final corner while we're leaving it. So we've got a fantastic gap behind. 3 Chevrolet Corvettes, all Chevrolet Corvette podium, heading on to the third lap in the second half of this race. And we're just battling for the win. The Dutchman's built a lead of over a second, but we've still got 2 laps here. I know where he's stronger now. I know where he's weaker as well. This first sector, if we can get it right, he does take that narrow line by default, it looks like. Not a very good line through the first set of corners, where he's very quick everywhere else. But once then, we've got the run heading into these first set of corners. Not going to be making a move or any kind of lunges or fakes into that first right hand, but then he's cautious into the hairpin. Remember, get it down the second gear, get a good run out this corner, and we're right on the tail of the Dutchman heading into the left-hander. Well, he made his move on the first lap, but we make a move into the second lap. He won't. He will back off, but know what it caused to the Dutchman. He runs wide, just like what happened to our opponent in the previous race, the Bugatti, and he slid into the wall, and that's how we grabbed our first victory online. It's just learning from the previous races, well, not being aggressive when we had a chance, just being a bit more patient, let them make the mistake. We forced it out of the Dutchman there, and very happy with my third online race there, grabbing my first victory as well. But it's going to get harder, of course, with every race I take as that rating gets higher, not just the sportsmanship rating, that driver rating as well. When I get into the D cards, I might actually get some, get some better drivers who won't fall down to, kind of fakes like that. As looking further down, we also got Mercedes SOS, and it's like in Sith as well. We've got a great variety of Group 4 cars. I do like the Group 4 cars. I've been driving them, of course, with the driving school as well. That's what you learn these circuits in and all these techniques as well. And yeah, they're great fun, the Group 4 cars, but I don't want to be in something a bit more powerful, which I'm going to show off in the next episode. But you can see that Spaniard way too aggressive in the race. 11-second worth of penalty. Still finishes 4th though, behind the Vanquish, and would have finished in 2nd if he wasn't so aggressive, as we got Corvette 1-2 still, despite the Dutchman falling off on that third lap. He finishes in 8th, and indeed the Scirocco and the Tenza also gets a penalty near the back of the field. There's only 10 drivers finished. 11 drivers took part in the race. But there we go, there's our first victory. I get the confetti, get the old little wreath as well. Do love kind of the animation here. Here's a beautiful looking game, Gran Turismo Sport. You can't deny that. Yes, on the driving physics, maybe, but coming back to it with the pad as well, very drivable. Do love it. The pad, I really am enjoying this game, and you can expect some more Gran Turismo Sport videos later this week, as I'm just basically going to show you online. There's not much single play. It's just about learning the tracks, learning the techniques, and everything. But I hope you enjoyed another Gran Turismo Sport video. As I said, I'll be back later this week with another one showing off the third kind of organised online lobby as well with the Group 3 cars. But I hope you enjoyed our lesson here in this episode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.